Hi everybody, Dumb on Meta here, and thank you for once again joining me on my journey as I go through my favorites list on fanfiction.net. Uh, I know it's been 2 weeks since my anniversary video, and it's like not a good sign for somebody who wanted to keep putting them out fast, but the streaming is really and the games have been taking a lot of my time. But hey, I'm still reading, I'm still going through my list, and I got 7 more stories for you. So let's just dive in with this first one called Harry the Hufflepuff 2 by BajaB. And this is a sequel to Harry the Hufflepuff, which stayed on my list. And this is basically more fun of the same kind of variety. This is a Harry who's very lazy and is just very, and he's got a good mind to making and inventing stuff that will make everything easier. And this is him going through his second year with the Chamber of Secrets and basically solving the plot while not caring about it whatsoever. It's really fun, and it takes, again, the plot takes a back seat while we focus more on the strange things Harry starts making in order to make his life easier. Like Larry the Mannequin being a standout highlight, who is just, that's just a lot of fun and a lot of running gags there. It's basically a lot more fun in the same vein as the original, so if you liked the first story you will enjoy this. I certainly did, and it's gonna stay on my list. So number 2 is Charlie Does the Foxtrot, or Damn the Torpedoes by Lady FoxFire. And this is another Harry Potter short fic. Sorry, my face is itchy. It's a short fic that takes place basically at the start, right before his 5th year. The trial goes really badly, and Harry gets his wand snapped, and he decides to take all his money and leave the wizarding world. And as such, he then saves the wizarding world by destroying it and crippling it economically. It's a short story that offers a bit of catharsis by pounding in the stupidity of wizards, but it's not very visceral or humorous to really stick in the mind after reading. It's written well enough that it'll entertain you while you're reading it, but then after a few hours it's gonna completely fall out of your mind. And it's due to that lack of staying power that I don't think it's good enough to stay on my list. Number 3 is another short one. We got Yet Another Unusual Solution to the First Task by David Brown. And this is another really short tale of Harry solving the first task of the Triwizard Tournament in a much more entertaining way to the audience. It's a simple single scene and single joke, and it's really stupid humor, which I enjoy. I love this kind of stupid stuff, and it's really gave me a good laugh. I think anybody who wants a good chuckle will find one here, and it's gonna stay on my list. Right. Number 4 is Infinite Supply by Phoenix3488. And this one is not a Harry Potter fic. Shocker. No, this is a Naruto fic. That takes place. It starts basically during Shippuden, when they're going to fight. They fight Orochimaru after they've killed Sasori. Sorry if you don't know Naruto, it's confusing, but it's a fight with Orochimaru, and where it turns basically Naruto character-wise turns into Sasuke and becomes super overpowered, and there's another Illuminati-esque organization that he now has to fight. Now, what do I mean by Naruto turns into a character of Sasuke? He basically, in motive, action, and behavior turns into Sasuke. He starts becoming very broody, not trusting anybody. He's smarter than Sasuke in that he hides it until he's actually going to get away clean. But he defects from Konoha. He, just goes off on his own. He starts killing people that he would protect previously. Stops giving a shit about any of his friends. And the main thing that really pointed him that he's basically copying Sasuke's actions, he just blindly trusts the word of anybody who tells him anything about his past. Like literally, the main person he starts getting info from is Orochimaru during when he's fighting Orochimaru, and it's like, you know what? I don't even. And the fact that it turns out the information he gives turns out to be true is irrelevant. You have no Naruto has no reason to trust Orochimaru in this case, and even if anything is happening, he shouldn't be automatically believing him. He should be taking everything he says with a grain of salt, even if he does find at least some bit of proof. But like, it just like he immediately just turns on everybody on a dime, similar to how like Sasuke just like, oh, like I killed Itachi, like, oh no, and then Madara shows like, no, Konoha's bad, kill Konoha's, like, okay, I'll do that, and then he goes to Danzo's like, no, this is bad, kill this person, like, okay, I'll do that. It's like that kind of stuff. The way Naruto is overpowered in the sense is that he just has an infinite supply of chakra, like that's literally infinite, not like, and it's not the QB's, it's just his own because he made into a part god. But yeah, and story wise, there's the Illuminati thing that I was saying earlier. It wasn't a gag. It's like we literally find out there's this society, I think the White Lotus, who are basically like causing all of the conflicts that have happened in the ninja world all over time. And the story is setting them up as a super strong antagonist. But aside from one member reveal and one meeting and like a lot of oblique references, we don't really get anything because the story itself basically is like stuck in the first act and stops, right? Like it doesn't even stop at the end of the first act. I want to say it stops like if the first act of this thing was going to be like 20 episodes, I want to say it stops at episode 18. So it doesn't really have any full completed arcs to satisfy. The interesting bit, which I guess would be the White Lotus section, is not really materialized. You don't really get enough to chew on because they only really show up right at the end of what's written. And also Naruto's behavior just really pissed me off because I hate late canon Sasuke. So, I mean, I hate early canon Sasuke too, but at least he's a little bit more tolerable during like the wave mission and stuff. But Shippuden Sasuke, I really dislike. And since this Naruto basically turns into that, it really is a dislike for me. There's nothing. It's not written terribly or anything. There's nothing objectionable, but there's nothing amazing or noteworthy either. And the fact that it's just there's nothing to satisfy, you can safely skip this one, and it's not gonna stay on my list. All right, number 5 is Loki by the Fire Planet. And this is a retelling of the movie Thor, the first Thor movie in the MCU. But instead of Thor being banished, Loki is the one banished to Earth, and Thor takes control of Asgard while Odin falls into his Odin sleep. It's very interesting because Loki's character and behavior is very different from Thor. So Loki's dynamic with Jane and the others is very different because he's much more of an asshole and spoiled brat than Thor was. And on the flip side, also Thor is not a good king because he's not humbled by this experience, and so he does a lot of bad stuff for Asgard in regards to how the Joans were like sneaking in and stuff, which caused a ton of drama that is very different from the movie. Each chapter is also littered with scenes of Loki's past that's meant to make him more of a sympathetic character, which works to an extent. It definitely made me care for him in a bit, or at least understand him a bit more. And I really did not care for Loki as a character from the movies. Not in the sense that like I hate him, but I just didn't care about him. And I just the fact that I feel I felt like a little sympathy, but like it doesn't justify what you did. Here I see a bit, and also it helps that he's not doing the stupid things that he's doing. So I did like this a lot. It's definitely got enough changes to keep you guessing, and I think anybody who enjoyed the original movie, especially if you like Loki, you will enjoy this, and it's gonna stay on my list. All right. Second to last, we have Watching A New Hope by Mythical Dragon 48. And it's not the first of its type, I'm pretty sure, that's appeared on my list, but it's one that will appear more often, I think, as when it gets way later down the road. Because I've been reading a lot of them. I think there's more of them on this list. But this is a MST3K style fic where the characters of whatever piece of media are reacting to seeing themselves or seeing alternate versions of themselves. This one is themselves. This is literally Luke, Leia, Han, and some of the other rebels watching A New Hope, the first Star Wars movie. And it takes place right after Return of the Jedi. And there is sequels to this. I think there's actually only one, and I think it's on my list, where they watch Empire Strikes Back. But that one's not finished. This one is finished. And it's not bad. The characters chime in very often, which is... but not to... So it's not to the point of obnoxiousness, but it's also not that you're getting walls of just the movie without seeing any interaction. So it's good. But the main problem I have with this story is the formatting. In the early chapters, like there's a bunch of times where he doesn't line break between people swapping speakers and stuff like that. But the biggest problem is the fact that there's no differentiation between the movie script and dialogue and the characters watching dialogue. Like 90% of the things that I've seen, they'll usually do like whatever they're watching or reading or reacting to is in bold, and everything else is normal. So you can clearly see what's movie, what's the reaction. And the fact that it's not here and it's, like the same characters and stuff just interacting means that sometimes you can get mixed up and not realize something's a reaction or in the movie, especially because the actual movie stuff also is kind of vague at points, and it's not always exactly clear. So if you haven't seen the movie in a long time, you might actually miss out on what's happening and not exactly follow it that well. Like the reaction stuff and the character bits I think are fine, but it's not a great reading experience for me. Like it's not the story itself. It's fine. It's not amazing, but also just the formatting really is frustrating for me, and that's why I say give it a look, but it's not going to stay on my list, mainly because it's not enjoyable or it's a bit frustrating to read through. So it's not going to stay on my list. And last one for this video is Wonder Boy by Digital Sorceress. And this is back to the Harry Potter well with a crossover with the DC universe. This takes place after Order of the Phoenix. And Harry, basically, this is one of the multitude of stories I've come across where, like, Harry decides, okay, I can't deal with Sirius's death. I don't want to stay in the house anymore. I'm just going to fly somewhere else and go somewhere else. And in this case, he ends up flying to Metropolis and befriending Supergirl. The story itself is, like, it's perfectly fine. It's building up a relationship with Harry and Supergirl, but it's building it really, really slowly. And it's not complete, so we don't even get into the, like... I think they have, like, one date, and they have 2 dates, but it's like they're still not actually dating each other officially. They're still just more like friends hanging out, and so there aren't really any even fluffy moments or like just really cute moments here. It's very much just the early stages of a relationship, and with occasional guest flyovers from other DC superheroes. It's a little fun seeing like the overprotectiveness of like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman have over Supergirl, but like those scenes are very, very short, and like I said, there's no real big like sweetness or anything else to really justify keeping it on my list. Like it's good, but it doesn't satisfy because again, there's no closure. It doesn't even get into the actual relationship part and stuff, and there's no complete arc. So I'd say give it a look, but it's not going to stay on my list. And there we have it. My first video for this after the anniversary. Sorry it took a while. But yeah, so now status time. 612 stories have been read. 306 stay on my list. Exactly 50%. Alright, so there you have it. Thank you everybody for watching this video. If you want to see any of these stories and give them a look for yourself, links are in the description, as well as links to the forum where I post this as well, and my fanfiction.net profile, so you can see the stories that are going to be coming up in the future. And please, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like or a comment saying my taste is terrible. Please subscribe if you want to keep getting notified when I post these, because I try to do them one a week, but not. First of all, it's not always one a week, as clearly by this, but also it's not always the same day. It's when I can get them done. But yeah, please subscribe. That way you'll be seeing them when they get put up. Thank you all so much for watching and enjoying this stuff. And hey, if you want to see what's keeping me busy and stuff, I have a Twitch. So I'll link my Twitch thing, which I occasionally do. Mainly right now I'm playing Dead by Daylight, but hey, give it a look. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.